Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. Today we've got the next pack of the RB19. You may remember last time I sort of semi-put this bit in place with this bit. Well, guess what we're doing today? We are actually joining those parts together. So doesn't look to be a great deal to do, but that's about to get bigger. So let's get into it, let's get building.
Welcome to the workshop, tools in the light, screws and glue, they're holding it tight. Piece by piece, it's a builder's delight, making dreams in the still of the night. Let's get into it, let's get building now. Put it all together, I'll show you how. Screw by screw and a little glue too. Welcome to the workshop, it's waiting for you.
Right, we're going to kick off with stage 33, and it wasn't that long ago we did stage 32, and it's going to look very familiar. So we've got front compartment bodywork. Now we're just building up this side as we did last time, but we do have a couple of extra bits, and as you can see that is going to be secured to the front wheels. And we'll have that at the end of it. Right, so as you can see, not many parts at all. We're going to kick off basically doing the same as what we did towards the end of the last build pack. And that's by pushing those two parts together. Let's try and get them lined up. Like so. And then bring in this part over. That's just going to slot in like so, and then we've got two A screws to secure that in place. Right, so that's in there just like that. I'm going to take this piece, which at first glance I thought was a circuit board, but it's not. That's just going to sit in this way up, like so, and we're sort of hoping that stays in there. Well, I think it will actually, if we push it in. It will. We're then going to attach this to the wheels. Just want to ensure that actually is in the correct place and all the way in. So we're just going to slot that under like so. Get that all lined up. That front piece that we've just put in needs to go over the top of the steering shaft there. Right, there we are. So that's all nicely sat down in place like so. We're going to flip it over. We've got 4 A screws to hold that in place. They're going through these holes and these holes here. Last screw just going in there, and that is all there is to do in that stage. So, stage 34. Now, the box isn't very heavy and doesn't have very many parts in, but this is going to get bigger. I promise you that. So we've got the front bodywork component, a compartment I should say. And as you can see, we've got some bits going on there, but then we're joining this to this part here. So we're going to extend the size of this car. And we'll have that at the end of it. Right, so these are our parts. We got some A screws, G screws, O screws, and we were meant to have some M screws. Now, I got 2 packs of G screws, which not very helpful. I only need 1 M screw, and to be fair, I don't know what it's like, but from the looks of it, I think this might be one, or if not, a very, very similar one. I think it's got to go through this gap here and screw together from the instructions, so I've got that for the minute. If it doesn't quite fit when I get to that point, I'll raid my stash of screws. It just happened to be I had one like that on the workbench. Might have used an M screw recently, and occasionally I just put screws to the back of the workbench. So let's see, we'll find out. But we did get this part. This is a plastic part, but there's obviously the start of the cockpit area of the car, which is brilliant. We're going to start off with this shaft, and that's going to go through, just make sure I get this right around, from this side, like so. And then on this end, we're going to be putting it into there, like so. It does have a D-shaped hole, and a D-shaped lug, and we're going to use an O screw right through the middle of there. Now, this is a metal shaft, so I am going to dip the screw into a little bit of oil just to help it feed in and cut any waste material out. So we've got that in like so. Now bringing over this part, we're going to attach that just there, like so. And we're going to use 2 G screws to secure that in place. And these are countersunk style screws. Like so. Put that to one side for a moment, and we'll bring it over this piece. And we have this tiny little window. Going to flip that over, and that's just going to push into place on there. Now, if you're going to glue this, just as a precaution, use something like canopy glue. Do not use super glue, otherwise it will fog up. It seems to be holding itself in there at the minute, so probably fine. But as you move this around, it could potentially get knocked off. So just keep an eye on it. We're going to take this piece and attach that there, which hopefully might actually hold that windshield in anyway, so might not get lost. We're going to use 4 A screws to hold that in place, 2 here and 2 here. Right, next up, we do need to link up the steering. Just going to make sure that these wheels are straight, but the other thing is we need to make sure that this flat side is in the correct orientation. Now, I think that is flat side towards the bottom of the car. They have given you a detailed image like this, but it's such a close-up, it's not really clear. I think this is the windshield, and I think that's the open space there. So hopefully I've got this right way up. And I'm going to use my M screw-ish, assuming it is an M screw. I'm just going to test it into this gap, actually. Looks like it will do the job. So whether it's an M screw or not, I don't know. It could be from many of the other part works that I've had. Just happened to be one on the workbench. So just going to pull that out of there. Now this linkage is just going to go through that gap, or the screw's going to go through that gap. So making sure that our D-shaped hole is this way, or D-shaped pattern I should say, and we're just going to screw that right through the middle there, and that'll just capture that linkage. So there we are. It's not going to be the best linkage, but we're not driving this around the dining room table, so it will serve a purpose. And next we have a part that I seem to be missing. Nope, it was in the last build pack, and I have to grab that. Okay, so we had this in the last build pack. That's going to sit just like that. We're going to secure that with 2 A screws. And that is all to do in that stage. Right, so we're going to move on to stage 35. Just a note, we did have this piece left over from stage 34. It's the steering wheel seal, and we're just told to keep that safe for the moment. So, quick flick through the magazine, and we've got the steering wheel. So, building up the steering wheel, putting a number on, and not a lot else, it seems. Right, these are our parts, including this nice metal steering wheel with quite a few details on it. If I just get the camera to focus on that, you can see there's a lot of nice detail on there, including on the top and at the back there as well. Looking very, very nice. We do have some P-screws. We've got some details to put on the steering wheel, including this little screen. We've got this collar. We have this number plate as well. And we also got some decals. Now we need to put these decals to one side. We're not using them this time, so I'm just going to put them in that little bag, like so. Not sure when we're going to be using those, so they can be in there, staying safe. First thing we're going to do is take this screen, and we're just going to push that in, like so. I'm going to take this piece, and with it this way out, we've got a little tab on there. We're going to take this piece, line up the tab with that hole, and just push those together like so. We're going to take the steering wheel, and that's going to push through from that side and hold together like so. So we have it looking like that. Going to put the steering wheel to one side, bring over our number, bring over the car, and that's just going to sit in like so. I'm going to secure that with two of these P-screws from the other side. So just holding that in place, and through these two holes here, just secure that in place. Magnetic screwdriver is definitely your friend for this part of the build. And obviously, if you want any rarer screwdrivers, head over to the Mike Lane website where you can get them from him. But that is all to do in that stage. Right, we're flying through this build pack. Stage 36. And in this one, we get the left structural panel. Not doing much on that one, so let's have a look at the next magazine. We have the left radiator. Not a great deal to do that either. So let's see if we want to combine all of the last three issues in this stage, or this build pack I should say. More of the left radiator. So it looks like all those components that we've got here, they're all pretty much separate entities almost. So yeah, let's combine all those bits together, because it doesn't look like there's got a great deal to do on those, and it doesn't look like we need the car anymore either. Right, so we have all the components of the last three stages. We're not using that from stage 34, so keep that one safe. But we have 36, 37 and 38. So 36, is a case of take those two parts, line up the 3 lugs we've got on the back here, and just press that into place. And that's it. Put that to one side because we're done with 36. And now with 37, we have the start of the radiator. And we need this piece and this piece. And that's simply just going to go onto there like that. And we're going to use 2 A screws to secure that in place. And that's all there was to do in stage 37. And stage 38, we're going to bring over these parts. We have this piece that's going to go on the back of here. Just line up those holes and the shape. And get those lugs lined up. Push that in like so. And then we've got this piece, which is going to go on the back just like so. And we've got an A screw going in there. And an A screw going in there. Don't know why they had to split out the 2 last instructions to an A screw and an A screw when it could have just been a single instruction. But that is now all there is to do in that stage, and all there is to do in that build pack. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to hit the like button below and give us a massive thumbs up. So, the RB19 is certainly taking shape, certainly getting a little bit bigger now. I have temporarily put the steering wheel in there. I've just pushed it on at the minute. It can easily come off. But I just wanted to double check that that was the correct way up with that flat side facing down, and I'm pleased to say it is. So all good there. I'm not currently sure if this is still available or not through FanHome, but check out the links below. If it is, follow those and head over to FanHome's website if you want to get yourself your very own Red Bull racer. If you have missed out on this one, the Michael Schumacher Ferrari is now available, so check that out as well. If you want to see how this one progresses or anything else that goes on in the workshop, please do remember to hit the subscribe button and ding the bell for notifications. That way you won't miss out on future videos, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!